Welcome back to Bold TV. I'm Philip Michael, and today we're going to continue to explore one of the biggest themes and topics going on right now, which is, of course, the crypto market. Now, Bitcoin has taken some hits in May, but June is looking up. El Salvador has officially made Bitcoin legal tender, and Goldman Sachs recently declared Bitcoin to be an investment asset. But what does the future really hold? Does anyone know for sure? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Are we going to adopt it? We are talking to one of the few people who may actually realistically have some sort of insight into how this may go. Here to talk about this today is the Editor-In-Chief of Decrypt, Daniel Roberts. Welcome, Daniel.
All right, thanks for having me.
Talk to me, man. What is the fuss about crypto and Bitcoin and everything? Why has this become such a hot mainstream topic? Not out of nowhere, but it's really taken the world by storm over the past year or so. Why is that?
Absolutely. It's bigger than it's ever been. I mean,
Yes.
I've been covering crypto since 2011, but I think it's fair to say that right now, it is the most mainstream it's ever been. And everyone likes to compare right now to 2017. That was the previous hype cycle, right? I mean, everyone and their grandma was around the Thanksgiving dinner table saying, should I buy Bitcoin? Should I buy Ether? What is that? But now what has changed is it's not just retail investors, that is regular people. It's kind of multiple groups. A lot of different narratives converge. You've got publicly traded companies, household names in fintech that people have heard of, PayPal, Square, Tesla, all buying in some way or another. You've got hedge fund titans who are influential on Wall Street changing their tune, saying not, I think Bitcoin's going to replace the dollar. They're not saying that. They're not saying I think it's the future of the world, it's going to rule the world. But they're just saying, at the very, very least, I think it's a worthwhile investment. I'm allocating 2 or 3% of my portfolio, and that's a different tune than you've ever heard before. And I think the pandemic really fueled it. I mean, it created an environment where all those different parties suddenly looked again at crypto. Some of them were skeptics who had dismissed it totally. And now they're saying, all right, this is something worthwhile. And at the very least, it's something that I think exists, it's real, and it's going to continue to exist.
Right. When you're talking about something that you initially dismiss and now, okay, it becomes a subject worthy of intellectual exploration, even financial exploration. But walk me through when it started. As an outsider looking in who was not immersed into the crypto field, as most of us are not. It initially started, did it not, as something as an alternative to the financial systems that we know now, effectively as a cryptocurrency. Is that correct? How did it initially start? Because 2011, you were there since the beginning. How did it really start? We hear the talking points. What's the real?
Yeah, and by the way, it's still early. We're still very early in this
sure,
space.
sure.
I mean, it's been trading for 11 years. In the big scheme of things, that's not that long. But you're right. The original white paper by this Satoshi Nakamoto, no one knows who that is, I like to say person or persons, did frame Bitcoin as an electronic peer-to-peer cash system. It's not really being used that way nowadays. It's not really being used as cash, and that's okay. Now, a lot of skeptics and doubters, they say, their only indicator is, can I use it to easily buy my morning coffee? And they say, I can't, and see, it has failed. But that's silly. I mean, use cases of technology change and evolve. What Bitcoin is mostly being used for today is purely an investment, an asset to buy and hold on to. And in some ways, it's like stocks. If you believe the technology is going to stick around, you buy it and you leave it alone. You hold on to it. Now, of course, then you get into the wider, broader crypto world, something like Ethereum, which came second but is a separate network. The difference there is that was specifically designed for smart contracts, interesting business applications. So what a lot of people in the crypto world will tell you now is that, okay, Bitcoin's going to stay. It's always going to be here. It's going to remain. Maybe over time its price will continue to go up. Fine, that's an investment. It's digital gold. Ethereum and maybe some other cryptocurrencies are going to have much more interesting multiple business use cases and applications in the years to come. But long way of answering your question, I like to say cryptocurrency has kind of become a misnomer. They're not really being used as currencies. I just tell people, think of them as digital assets.
Sure.
And they're all variety of types, and they each have different use cases.
Right. So the way we're talking about crypto here, and specifically for myself, is Bitcoin is more like a digital equivalent gold, as you said, versus something that you're using every day. The definition of a currency is money that's accepted and used for wide use, whereas people say, hold on to it for dear life. Do you think that it has long-term perspectives from that standpoint?
Well, let's look at Tesla, right? I mean, Tesla made waves when it bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in January. And it also at that time said, we will accept Bitcoin as payment for a Tesla. And that definitely directly helped Tesla stock go up and the price of Bitcoin go up. But then, over a few weeks, it became, well, who would want to buy a Tesla with Bitcoin? That would be stupid. If you believe in Bitcoin and you think the price is going to keep going up, and in the weeks after Tesla bought in, it really did. I mean, Tesla made more profit in a month from its Bitcoin purchase than it had in the past year selling cars. But if you think the price is going to go up, why would you spend your Bitcoin? People who believe in Bitcoin don't want to spend it. They want to hold on to it. Now, that's not to say that there won't be other cryptocurrencies that could become better for everyday payments. And crazy though it sounds, Elon Musk and Mark Cuban and others want that cryptocurrency to be Dogecoin.
I was going to ask you about that. What is the deal with that? Why is it that people are bullish? Because I've seen some ridiculous press releases where people come out, we have this new cryptocurrency. Like, based on what? And I'm not even going to get into that, but why Dogecoin? Why is this something that's popular? Do you believe in it? And what's going to happen here?
Well, what I say is that even though it was created as a joke, and I always give the caveat, too, to people to remember, it's still a joke. I mean, there's no company behind it, no protocol, no business purpose. There are a few developers working on the open source code, but you have to start with that. It was created as a joke. That said, the whole crypto community and crypto Twitter and the passion of the community on social media, Reddit, and by the way, the Venn diagram here has real overlap with the Wall Street Bets folks and the GameStop stonk memes during the pandemic.
Sure.
All of this shows the fact that people are actually embracing Dogecoin and suggesting that maybe we can really make it a utility where you use Dogecoin for payments and make it easier to use than Bitcoin. That fact, it's hard to dismiss that because it actually is a perfect summation of the crypto community. I mean, they love it because it was based on a classic internet meme, Doge, the Shiba Inu, much wow, all that stuff. And so even though it was a joke, it's kind of not surprising, and I think it's the perfect representation of crypto people and how they love it because they're very online, as the phrase goes, right? They're extremely online. So I wouldn't necessarily dismiss it out of hand. That said, of course, you have to give all the asterisks, and it's hard to put Dogecoin in the same bucket as Bitcoin and Ethereum, which right now are kind of the alpha and the omega, the gold and silver of the crypto world,
Precisely.
But there are multiple things appearing. Definity, Solana, we don't have to get too in the weeds, but what I like to say is no one yet knows who the ultimate winner will be in this space. There will be a shaking out where shitcoins, am I allowed to say that on Bold TV? So-called shitcoins are going to go away, that's fine, but some cryptocurrencies will remain and will prove their value over time. I wouldn't guarantee that any of these will still exist in 10 years other than, for now, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those two have proven themselves over time. That doesn't mean I tell people go buy it. I don't give investment advice. But I just think they've been around long enough and there are enough people, devoted and passionate to upkeep the networks that those are the two that are proven for now. They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. Now, this is going to be the last topic for now. One of the things that we've seen with crypto conversations on crypto Twitter and the social media universe is that remember when it was the things you didn't talk about or that would get people sort of testy was religion, politics, and now crypto. It seems as though if you just look into it on Twitter, the conversations, if you say something, just anything that refutes whatever bias one person on either side has, it's a fight. What's going on there? Is this common for the community? Why do we have that type of polarization?
So two quick things I'll tell you on that topic. It's always fascinated me, the tension, the philosophical tension between the OGs, many of whom got into Bitcoin because they were libertarian Ron Paul types who loved that it was outside government control. No banks, no one person in charge, get them out of the way. Yeah, they love it for that reason. Now, though, as Bitcoin has evolved as an investment, you've got mainstream finance and Wall Street types saying, well, I like Bitcoin too. And they're saying, bring on the regulation. Let's regulate it. It'll make it more mainstream. And it's like, well, wait a minute. If you were in it from the beginning, you didn't like regulation. That was why you were in this. So there's a push and pull there, even though they all want the same thing, which is they want Bitcoin to rise and they want the price to go up and they want it to go more mainstream. So that's number one. Number two, to your point about crypto Twitter and how, great example right now is the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining. It's a hot topic, but we get nowhere because the people who are already in Bitcoin just dismiss it and say, not important, not a concern, Bitcoin's great, leave it alone. And then they say things that kind of are silly arguments like, there are tons of buildings all over the world that leave their lights on all the time. We don't talk about that waste of electricity. Or another popular one is, people don't talk about how much electricity Christmas lights use. Of course they don't, but that's not really a good argument. And then on the other side, the people who are loudest about Bitcoin mining's environmental impact are people who already don't like Bitcoin. So of course they want to amplify the environmental concerns because they say, shut it down, let's stop using it. And we kind of haven't gotten anywhere on what is the actual environmental impact, how much electricity are we talking, and is it a problem, or do the use cases for this new form of money justify the energy use? We haven't really arrived at any real answer there because everyone just talks their book. And it's really a microcosm of the larger media ecosystem, right? I mean, I've been a journalist for 11 years. Like, increasingly, everyone just gets their news from an outlet that they know shares the views they already have. So we don't really get anywhere.
Thank you so much for the insights, and thank you for being here today.
Great fun. Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. Make sure you follow Bold TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Have a great day, and we're out of here.